ngoba nakho uyakhuluma angithi wena wathi uma yini umakhumalo mangwabo basesithenjini manje wena.
New day, new drama in South Africa. According to new reports, Musa Mseleku warns his wives not to step on his toes or suffer the same fate as his late wife. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel as you watch. Polygamist Musa Mseleku paid tribute to another woman he married, Musa Mseleku, who passed away before a Thondo Nesthembu aired. He took time to reminisce about his late wife. Online users had a lot to say about how Musa Mseleku described his wife and mother-in-law, who died. Many people have been fascinated with his recent fifth woman, Kwela, whom he married after she announced her pregnancy. Musa Mseleku posted his late wife's picture on his Instagram. The picture amazed a lot of people and got attention as the public is not as familiar with her as they are with his other wives. In his caption, he said, "I asked for your guidance as an ancestor wife." People had even more to say after he shared photos of his late mother-in-law, Masiel's mother. He said his ancestor mother-in-law protected him when he wasn't aware. In the vibrant and often dramatic world of South African reality television, few personalities have sparked as much fascination and debate as Musa Mseleku. Known for his unconventional approach to love and marriage, Mseleku lives a life that both challenges and reflects traditional African customs, particularly in relation to polygamy. As the central figure in the widely watched series A Thondo Nesthembu, Mseleku offers viewers an intimate look into his personal life with his four wives. His reality TV fame, however, only scratches the surface of a far more layered narrative, one filled with emotional complexity, cultural legacy, personal grief, and a resolute attempt to manage a household bound by tradition but influenced by modern societal pressures. Recently, Mseleku stirred conversation with a pointed and emotionally charged warning directed toward his wives. In no uncertain terms, he cautioned them against stepping on his toes, a phrase that he connected with the painful memory of his deceased wife. This statement, though simple on the surface, has ignited broader discussions around the nature of polygamous relationships, the struggles inherent in maintaining harmony among multiple spouses, and how personal loss can shape a man's expectations and decisions moving forward. To truly grasp the nuances of Mseleku's life choices, one must first understand the role of polygamy in South African society. Unlike the widespread stigma it faces in many parts of the world, polygamy in certain South African communities is an accepted and even respected practice with deep historical and cultural roots. In these communities, polygamy is not necessarily seen as a sign of male dominance or inequality, but rather as a traditional family structure that supports lineage, wealth distribution, and social unity. Musa Mseleku embodies this tradition while navigating the complicated emotional and logistical dynamics of being married to four women: Masiel, Mayeni, Makhumalo, and Mangwabe. Each of these women has her own story, her own temperament, and her own approach to family life. The result is a household that is anything but monolithic. From shared responsibilities and parental duties to emotional tensions and conflicting opinions, the Mseleku family is a living organism that requires constant negotiation, understanding, and management. When Mseleku issued his now famous warning, it was not merely a reprimand or a display of control. It was deeply intertwined with personal grief and emotional caution. Referencing his late wife, who passed away before his television fame began, Mseleku opened a window into a chapter of his life that continues to impact his decisions to this day. The loss of a spouse is among the most heart-wrenching experiences a person can endure, and in Mseleku's case, it left behind a blend of sorrow, reflection, and protective instinct. By bringing up his late wife in his admonishment to his current partners, Mseleku wasn't simply recalling a tragic memory. He was attempting to illustrate the gravity of what could be lost when unity falters and respect erodes. In his eyes, the death of his former partner did not just leave a space empty in his home. It marked a turning point that reshaped how he views commitment, conflict, and the emotional safety of everyone involved. Jealousy is a natural human emotion, and in a polygamous setting, it often emerges as a recurring challenge. For women sharing a husband, the competition for time, attention, emotional intimacy, and even material resources can create friction. Mseleku, fully aware of this, appears to be using his recent statements as both a cautionary tale and a call for emotional maturity among his wives. His household, while loving and united in many ways, is not immune to the emotional complexities that such a lifestyle inevitably brings. There are moments when insecurities bubble to the surface, when comparisons become inevitable, and when individual ambitions threaten to disrupt collective harmony. In issuing his warning, Mseleku seems to be urging his wives to rise above these tendencies, not by suppressing their feelings, but by choosing cooperation over conflict and shared purpose over personal vendettas. One of the cornerstones of Musa Mseleku's family management philosophy is communication. In his household, conversations are not a luxury, they are a necessity. Regular family meetings, emotional check-ins, and one-on-one discussions are all part of his effort to keep the relationships healthy and transparent. These gatherings provide each wife with a platform to speak openly about her concerns, desires, and grievances. This structure not only empowers the women to express themselves, but also reinforces their roles as equal contributors to the family. By actively listening to their voices, Mseleku demonstrates that leadership in a polygamous marriage does not mean domination. Rather, it involves mediation, empathy, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths for the sake of long-term harmony. Being a public figure comes with its own set of burdens, and for Mseleku, those burdens are magnified by the controversial nature of his marital arrangement. South African society, though more accepting of polygamy than many Western cultures, is not monolithic. There are still many who question the ethics, emotional toll, and practical implications of such unions. As a result, Mseleku and his family often find themselves under intense public scrutiny. This external pressure adds another layer of complexity to the internal dynamics of the family. In this light, Mseleku's warning may also be interpreted as a form of protective leadership. He understands that any signs of instability within the household can quickly become fodder for public criticism, potentially damaging not just his reputation, but also the emotional security of his wives and children. Thus, he encourages loyalty and unity, not out of fear, but as a way to preserve the family's dignity in the face of societal judgment. The presence of a person no longer living can still cast a powerful influence on the present. For Musa Mseleku, the memory of his late wife is not merely a sorrowful anecdote from the past. It is a compass guiding his future. Her legacy lives on in how he treats his current wives, in the boundaries he sets, and in the lessons he shares. She is a silent member of the household, shaping conversations, behaviors, and decisions even in her absence. Through the invocation of her memory, Mseleku invites his current partners to understand the emotional scars he carries and to avoid repeating past mistakes, whatever they may have been. His late wife's story is not shared to incite fear, but to teach about the fragility of life, the importance of respect, and the emotional cost of conflict left unresolved. As Musa Mseleku continues to balance the responsibilities of being a husband to 4 women, a father, and a public figure, questions about the future inevitably arise. Can such a complex family structure thrive in the long run? Will the emotional and cultural investments he's made in polygamy yield lasting harmony? Or will the pressures, both internal and external, create fractures too deep to heal? What's clear is that Mseleku is not content to simply let his relationships evolve without guidance. He is actively shaping his household with intention, driven by both personal loss and cultural values. His efforts to foster understanding, encourage communication, and uphold respect suggest a vision for a family that can not only survive, but thrive, despite the challenges. Musa Mseleku's message to his wives, urging them to avoid disrespect and emotional harm, offers far more than a simple warning. It encapsulates the deep emotional history of a man who has loved, lost, and learned. His story is one of leadership tempered by vulnerability, tradition informed by experience, and love complicated by structure. In a world where unconventional relationships often face harsh judgment, Mseleku stands as a figure striving to redefine family in his own terms. He offers a model, flawed, evolving, but undeniably sincere, for how polygamy can work when grounded in mutual respect, open dialogue, and a shared sense of purpose. His journey, rich with triumphs and trials, invites us to look beyond the surface and consider what truly sustains a family through the test of time. Thank you for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel so that you will not miss out on any information.